Chosen one, listen closely. Something in the atmosphere around you has shifted, and whether you realize it fully or only feel it faintly, your spirit already knows. You didn't click this message by accident. You didn't stumble here randomly. This moment found you because heaven has aligned circumstances for you to hear a truth that has been waiting for its appointed time. There is a door, your door, that is opening. Not a door you forced, not a door you begged for, not a door you chased, but a door that God Himself has placed in front of you. A door that only divine timing could prepare, a door that has your name carved into its frame. You have been sensing the shift. You have felt the pressure, the stirring, the discomfort of transition. You've been caught between endings and beginnings, between what you had to leave behind and what has not yet fully appeared. You've been in that strange, in-between space, not quite where you were, but not yet where you are going. And even though you don't have all the answers, something deep inside you keeps whispering. Something is coming. Something is opening. Something is changing. Chosen one? That whisper was right. Because heaven is declaring over you in this very hour, the door you need is opening. Not the door you lost. Not the door you thought you wanted. Not the door someone else had. But the one that was always meant for you, the one that fits your calling, carries your next assignment, aligns with your destiny, and leads you into the season you have been prepared for. You may not see it fully yet, but the spiritual realm has already shifted. What was stuck is being released. What was blocked is being cleared. What felt delayed is being accelerated. A path that was once invisible is now being carved before your feet. And when this door swings open, it won't just open slightly. It won't open confusingly. It won't open onto another waiting room. It will open wide with strength, clarity, and divine authority. But there is something you must understand. The moment of opening requires the moment of courage. When God says, walk in it, means you cannot stay where you have been. It means the season of hesitation is ending. It means the version of you that survived the wilderness must now rise to step into the promise. Chosen one, get ready. Because in the next moments of this message, you are going to hear why this door is opening, how God has prepared it, and what you must do when it appears before you. The shift has begun. Now let's go deeper. And as we move deeper, you need to understand something vital. This moment you're stepping into is not born from coincidence, chance, or human influence. It is rooted in something far more ancient, far more intentional, far more sacred. This opening didn't originate on earth. It originated in the mind of God. Long before you felt the shift, long before you questioned the delays, long before you even knew what you were meant to become, heaven had already written the moment when this door would appear. You aren't just walking into a new opportunity, you are walking into a divine appointment. This door carries the fingerprints of God Himself. Every detail, every connection, every timing, every adjustment in your path, even the painful endings. All of it has been shaped, orchestrated, and aligned by a divine intelligence that sees the end from the beginning. There were times you wondered if God heard you, times you wondered if He remembered your prayers, times you questioned whether the silence meant you were forgotten. But you were never forgotten. You were being prepared. And this is where the truth becomes clearer. The preparation was the proof. God does not prepare you for what He does not intend to give you. He does not strengthen you for doors that will remain closed. He does not refine you for opportunities that will never arrive. The work conducted in silence was heaven's confirmation that something was coming, something requiring a stronger, wiser, more discerning version of you. This is why certain people drifted away. This is why certain environments became uncomfortable. This is why your spirit outgrew what once felt familiar. This is why you could no longer tolerate what used to satisfy you. God was separating you from anything that couldn't go through this next door. Heaven has been speaking to you in patterns, whispers, and inner nudges. Those moments where you suddenly felt the urge to clean your environment, reset your habits, break cycles, or detach from draining relationships, that was not random motivation. That was divine preparation. God was making room, clearing the atmosphere, and repositioning your spirit so you could recognize the door when it appeared. This is why the message you're hearing now carries weight. This is why it feels personal. This is why your heart leans forward, even if your mind cannot fully explain why. Because God has been guiding you toward this moment, aligning your spirit with His voice, preparing you to step into the next stage of your destiny. And here is the truth that heaven wants you to receive. The door is not just opening. It is opening because God says you are ready. Ready in ways you don't even realize. Ready in strength you didn't know you built. Ready in faith refined through storms you didn't think you'd survive. Ready in clarity shaped through nights of prayer, tears, and surrender. Ready because the preparation has reached completion. You were not waiting for the door. The door was waiting for you. And now, it's time to reveal what this opening truly means. And now that the preparation has reached its fullness, the meaning behind this shift becomes clearer. What has been stirring around you? The restlessness, the inner awakening, the sense that something was changing, even when nothing looked different. All of it has been pointing to a singular truth. A divinely appointed door is about to open before you. This is not just a moment of progress. It is not merely a step forward. It is a prophetic turning point. The kind of moment where one chapter closes without your permission, because God is writing a new one that cannot be delayed. The kind of moment where the unseen aligns with the seen. The kind of moment where spiritual timing overtakes earthly timing, causing things to move, shift, and realign in ways you could never manufacture on your own. You are standing in front of a transition that was written into your destiny long before you were born. And this door, the one that is opening, has been hidden until now for a reason. If it had appeared earlier, you might have walked through it with the wrong mindset, the wrong connections, the wrong expectations, or the wrong version of yourself. The timing had to be perfect. The reshaping had to be complete. The refining had to be deep. Because this door leads into a space that requires maturity, insight, and spiritual sharpness that only your journey could produce. Imagine it like this. For a long time, it has felt as though you were standing in a dimly lit hallway. You could sense movement, possibilities, potential. But nothing was fully visible. You took steps by faith, not knowing exactly where they led. You kept believing through confusion. You kept hoping through silence. You kept trusting even when nothing made sense. And now in that same hallway, a light begins to glow. Soft at first, gentle, almost unnoticeable, but growing brighter, stronger, more defined until suddenly you see it. A door that was not open before. A door that calls to something deep within you. A door you feel drawn toward without fully understanding why. A door that feels like recognition, like something inside you finally aligning with something outside you. This is the door the prophecy speaks of. It is the door of divine alignment, the door of accelerated purpose, the door of new territory, the door of answered prayers, the door of long-awaited clarity. And the significance of this door is profound. It is not opening because someone favored you, or because circumstances suddenly became easy, or because you manipulated a situation to your advantage. It is opening because heaven has spoken now. And when heaven says now, no earthly resistance can say, not yet. When heaven says, now no delay can hold what is appointed. When heaven says, now what was impossible becomes undeniable. This door leads you into a place where the opportunities are aligned with your calling, not your convenience. Mom. The connections are divinely assigned, not randomly encountered. The resources come with purpose, not pressure. The environment matches your growth, not your past limitations. The path ahead feels guided, not forced. But there is something even more powerful about this prophetic opening. The door isn't just leading you into something, it is leading you out of something too. Out of cycles that kept you stagnant. Out of relationships that capped your growth. Out of environments that drained your spirit. Out of mindsets that kept you small. Out of waiting rooms that no longer serve your destiny. This door is both an entrance and an exit from the season where you were defined by endurance, and an entrance into the season where you will be defined by breakthrough. The prophecy behind this moment is clear. God is not merely giving you a door, He is commanding you to walk through it. This is important because divine openings always require divine obedience. The door appears by grace, but the step forward is an act of faith. And in the moments ahead, you will begin to notice the atmosphere around this door changing. Signs will appear. Alignments will take shape. Confirmations will echo in your spirit. What once felt distant will suddenly feel near. What once seemed impossible will begin unfolding naturally, almost effortlessly. This is the unveiling. This is the turning. This is the moment where what was whispered becomes visible, where what was prayed for becomes attainable, where what was delayed becomes delivered. The door is opening, and the next part of this message will reveal why this moment carries such deep spiritual meaning. To understand the significance of this door, you have to see beyond the surface. This is more than a new opportunity, more than a new season, more than a change of pace. What is unfolding before you carries a spiritual depth that reaches into the core of your destiny. Because every door God opens is layered with meaning, prophetic meaning, symbolic meaning, transformative meaning. And this one is no different. There is a reason heaven waited for this exact moment. There is a reason the process seemed long, stretching, and at times even painful. There is a reason you were separated, refined, and redirected in ways that didn't make sense at first. God was not just preparing you for the door, He was preparing the door for you. In the realm of the spirit, doors represent access, authority, and alignment. They symbolize the movement from one dimension of purpose into another. And throughout your journey, you've walked through many symbolic doors. The door of awakening, the door of surrender, the door of refinement, the door of inner healing. Each door ushered you deeper into your identity, deeper into your resilience, deeper into the calling that has always been written over your life. But this door is different. This is the door of assignment. It is the door where a purpose becomes visible, where growth becomes fruitful, where alignment becomes undeniable. It carries the spiritual weight of an appointed time, a moment when your preparation, God's timing, and destiny's unfolding intersect perfectly. Imagine for a moment the journey of a seed. Hidden beneath the soil, unseen, untouched by praise or validation, it endures pressure, darkness, and stretching. The seed does not realize that the soil is not burying it, it is positioning it. The darkness is not punishment, it is protection. And the pressure is not destruction, it is transformation. But when the seed has strengthened beneath the surface, when its roots have grown deep enough, when its inner identity has awakened fully, something miraculous happens. It breaks through. Not before, not after, but exactly at the right time. This door represents your breakthrough moment. The moment when the seed of your purpose pushes through the soil and becomes visible to the world. This is why the season behind you felt hidden, heavy, and confusing. You were not being buried. You were being rooted. And now the emergence is beginning. Spiritually, this opening also represents the end of a cycle, not just a habit or environment, but a spiritual cycle that has circled your life for years. Cycles of doubt. Cycles of delay. cycles of feeling unseen, cycles of giving more than you received, cycles of investing in places that could not pour back into you, cycles of withholding your gifts because you weren't sure where they belonged. When God opens this kind of door, it is a sign that the old cycle has broken completely. The tunnel you walked through is closing behind you. The wilderness you endured is shrinking into memory. The version of you who had to survive is stepping aside so the version of you who is destined to lead can finally emerge. This door also speaks to divine timing. Timing is everything in the spiritual realm. If a door opens too early, it becomes a trap. If it opens too late, it becomes a burden. But when it opens right on time, it becomes a blessing that multiplies. God's timing ensures that what is on the other side is ready for you, and that you are ready for it. And here is the deeper truth: God has been aligning this door, not just with your desires, but with your identity. You were created with a specific blueprint. Your gifts, your sensitivity, your resilience, your intuition, your compassion, your vision, all of these traits are not random personality features. They are spiritual markers that match the assignment waiting on the other side of this door. You've always sensed you were different. You've always felt things others couldn't feel. You've always known there was something inside you, pulling toward a purpose bigger than your surroundings. That sense, that quiet knowing, was the echo of your destiny calling out to you. And this door represents the moment when that calling becomes a reality. Another layer of spiritual meaning behind this door is transformation. The moment you step through, you will not remain who you were before. God is not simply elevating your position, He is elevating your identity. There is a version of you that only emerges when destiny is activated, when purpose is ignited, when faith becomes movement. On the other side of this door, your spirit operates differently. Your discernment sharpens, your voice strengthens, your confidence rises, your standards increase, your vision expands, your capacity multiplies. Because divine doors don't just change your environment, they change you. This door is also a signal in the spirit realm. Heaven is announcing that the season of wandering has ended. No more searching aimlessly. No more feeling lost in transition. No more questioning whether anything is moving. The path ahead is becoming clear because God is declaring that the time for clarity has arrived. And perhaps the most powerful spiritual meaning behind this moment is this: God trusts you. He trusts your heart. He trusts your growth. He trusts your surrender. He trusts your readiness. And because He trusts you, He is granting access to something greater. This door is not just an opening. It is an invitation into destiny, into alignment, into fulfillment, and into the next chapter of who you were always meant to be. And now that you understand the depth behind this door, the next part of this message will reveal the signs that this opening is already unfolding around you. And as this door begins to manifest in your life, there are signs, subtle yet undeniable, that will begin to reveal themselves. These signs are not random coincidences. They are spiritual indicators, gentle confirmations from heaven, letting you know that what is opening before you is real, intentional, and divinely orchestrated. These signs appear to prepare your heart, sharpen your awareness, and help you recognize the door when it arrives. One of the first signs is a sudden shift in your inner atmosphere. You may feel an unexpected calm clarity or sense of readiness that seems to appear out of nowhere. Even if nothing has changed outwardly, something inside you feels different, lighter, more focused, more aligned. It's as if your spirit wakes up before your circumstances do. This internal shift is heaven's way of tuning your heart to the frequency of what's coming. A second sign is the dissolving of old attachments. People who once felt central to your life may drift quietly to the background. Things that used to capture your attention no longer hold the same weight. Habits that once comforted you begin to feel out of place. This is not loss, it is spiritual pruning. God is clearing your path, removing distractions, and making space for where you're going. You may not have asked for this shift, but you will feel its necessity. A third sign is accelerated alignment. Suddenly, small things begin to fall into place without force or struggle, like puzzle pieces sliding into alignment. Conversations happen at the exact right moment. Resources appear unexpectedly. Encounters feel meaningful. You notice divine timing weaving itself into your days with precision. These moments create a pattern that whispers, "You're being guided." Another powerful sign is increased spiritual sensitivity. Your intuition sharpens. Your dreams become more vivid. Scriptures, messages, or signs you encounter seem to speak directly to your situation. It's as if heaven amplifies its voice so you don't miss what's unfolding. You may even feel moments of déjà vu, a sense that you've been prepared for this exact point in time. There is also the sign of holy restlessness. Not anxiety, not impatience, but a spiritual stirring that tells you staying where you are no longer feels right. You can sense that your environment is too small for the calling expanding within you. You may feel the urge to prepare, reorganize, clean release, or reposition yourself. This restlessness is not a mistake. It is the spiritual energy that precedes movement. And perhaps one of the most unmistakable signs is divine interruption. Plans that were once steady suddenly shift. Opportunities you thought you wanted fall away. Paths you assumed were certain begin to close. It may feel inconvenient, even confusing, but these interruptions are divine redirections. God closes counterfeit doors before opening the real one. These signs may appear one by one or all at once, but they are intentional. They are heaven's reminders that you are not imagining the shift. You are not misreading the season. You are not hoping blindly. Something is truly aligning in your life. Something is approaching. Something is being unlocked. Each sign is a confirmation that the door before you is not an illusion. It is an invitation. And the moment you begin to recognize these signs, you'll realize that God has not only prepared a door for you, He is preparing you for the door. Now that you understand the signs surrounding this moment, it's time to look at the challenges that may appear just before the door opens. Challenges that are not meant to stop you, but to strengthen you. And as the door draws nearer, you may also encounter challenges, not punishments, not setbacks, but spiritual pressure points that reveal how close you truly are. These challenges are often subtle, sometimes unexpected, and almost always misunderstood until you recognize their divine purpose. They appear not to break you, but to finalize your preparation for what lies ahead. One of the first challenges you may notice is intensified resistance. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the more spiritual friction you may feel. This is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of proximity. When something is about to open, the atmosphere around you shifts, and opposition attempts to rise as a last effort to distract or discourage you. You may face delays, misunderstandings, or sudden emotional heaviness, but none of this is meant to stop you. It is simply the final pressure before the release. Another challenge is the test of patience. When the door is forming but not yet visible, it's easy to feel stretched, pulled, or even questioned internally. Your spirit knows something is coming, but your eyes haven't seen it yet, and that gap can feel uncomfortable. This is where impatience tries to whisper lies, telling you that nothing is happening, that you misheard God, that you're stuck. But the truth is the opposite. God is strengthening your trust, deepening your resilience, and anchoring your faith so that when the door opens, you walk in with confidence, not fear. You may also face the challenge of isolation. Right before major elevation, God often pulls you into seasons of quiet, not to punish you, but to recalibrate you. Isolation sharpens your discernment, heightens your awareness, and frees you from external noise. You may feel misunderstood, detached, or emotionally distant from people who once felt close. This is not a sign that something is wrong. It's evidence that God is separating you from influences that cannot follow you through the door. Another hidden challenge is internal conflict. As you transition from who you were to who you are becoming, you may feel a tension between your old identity and your new purpose. Part of you may feel excited for what's ahead, while another part feels unsure or unqualified. This internal tug-of-war is not a flaw. It is transformation happening in real time. God is stretching you into alignment with the version of yourself that is prepared for new territory. There may also be moments of unexpected endings. Relationships, opportunities, or routines you thought were stable may suddenly shift. These endings may feel abrupt, but spiritually they are intentional. God is clearing the path so you do not carry unnecessary burdens or outdated connections into your next season. What feels like loss is actually protection. And perhaps the most difficult challenge is the silence of God. Not abandonment, not disapproval, but strategic silence, the kind that forces you to trust His presence, even when His voice feels distant. This silence is not a void. It is a transition. It teaches you to walk by faith, not by reassurance. It prepares you to move confidently through the door once it opens. These challenges are not walls meant to stop you. They are thresholds meant to shape you. Every pressure, every shift, every moment of uncertainty carries purpose. They are the final refining touches before God says, "Now, walk in." And with the challenges understood, the next part of this message reveals the sacred instructions heaven is placing before you, the steps you must take to prepare for the door that is opening. And now that you understand the signs and the challenges surrounding this moment, the next step is receiving the instructions that heaven is placing before you. Because whenever God opens a door, He also gives direction not to complicate your journey, but to empower it. What comes next is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to position you. These instructions are not burdens, but invitations. Invitations into alignment, into clarity, into readiness for what you are about to walk into. One of the first instructions is to stay spiritually alert. The door you're approaching is not like the ones from your past. It carries divine timing, divine weight, divine strategy. That means you must stay aware of the inner nudges, the quiet impulses, the subtle shifts in your spirit. Discernment will be your compass in this season. Pay attention to what draws your peace and what disturbs it. Heaven speaks through atmosphere as much as words. God is guiding you gently but consistently, and your sensitivity to His leading will determine how swiftly and confidently you move forward. Another instruction is to release what God has asked you to let go of. You cannot carry everything into the next season. Some things that were once supportive are now restrictive. Some relationships that once aligned now limit your growth. Some habits that once sustained you now steal your clarity. This is not about rejection, it is about elevation. God will never ask you to release something unless it is holding you back or holding you down. Letting go is not a loss, it is a strategic repositioning. If God is urging you to lay something aside, trust that your obedience is protecting your future. Heaven is also instructing you to prepare your environment. A new door requires a new atmosphere. This may mean cleaning your physical space, reorganizing your life, establishing new routines, or shaping habits that match the version of you who is stepping forward. When you prepare your environment, you signal to heaven that you are ready. It is a prophetic act, a declaration that you are aligning your outer world with the breakthrough approaching your inner world. One of the most transformative instructions is to guard your words. In moments like this, your speech carries unusual spiritual power. What you speak over your life becomes the atmosphere you walk into. This is not the season for negativity, doubt, or self-sabotage. It is the season to speak life, promise, alignment, and expectation. Speak not according to what you see, but according to what God has declared. Your words must match your destiny, not your fears. Another sacred instruction is to stay rooted in humility and gratitude. As the door opens, it will be easy to feel the momentum, the acceleration, the excitement. But humility keeps you grounded in God, not in your abilities. Gratitude keeps your spirit open, soft and receptive. These two traits ensure that you walk through the door with grace, rather than pride, with worship, rather than entitlement. They create an atmosphere where blessings multiply, not diminish. God is also calling you to step forward with courage. This door requires movement. You cannot remain stagnant. You cannot overthink your way into destiny. Faith is not a feeling. It is an action. When the opening appears, you must step toward it, even if you don't know what the entire journey looks like. Courage doesn't mean the absence of uncertainty. It means the refusal to let uncertainty stop you. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for trust. And trust is demonstrated through motion. Another key instruction is to silence the voices that oppose your spirit. Not every voice deserves access to this stage of your journey. Some voices bring confusion, doubt, distraction, or discouragement. You must be selective about what you allow to influence your decisions. If a voice doesn't align with your peace, your purpose, or God's direction, it cannot accompany you through this door. Protect your mind as fiercely as God protects your calling. And finally, one of the most important instructions is this: stay aligned with God's presence. Do not rush ahead of Him. Do not fall behind Him. Move with Him. Walk in step with the one who is guiding you. Let His presence be your anchor, your confidence, and your reassurance. Because when you walk in alignment with God, the door does not just open, it becomes inevitable. These divine instructions may feel simple, but they are spiritually powerful. They shape your posture, your readiness, your discernment, and your capacity. They prepare you not just to enter the door, but to thrive beyond it. And now that you know what to do, the next part of this message will reveal something equally important: the protection that surrounds you as you step forward. And as you prepare to step toward this divinely appointed door, you must understand something essential. You are not walking into this moment unprotected. You are not entering this new chapter alone, uncovered or unsupported. Heaven surrounds you with a level of protection that is stronger, deeper, and more intentional than you realize. God does not open doors without assigning protection to guard your steps as you move forward. One of the first layers of this protection is the shielding of your spirit. In the places where you once felt vulnerable, easily shaken, or spiritually exposed, God is reinforcing you. You may notice yourself reacting differently to situations that once overwhelmed you. Your emotional resilience has grown. Your discernment has sharpened. Your inner strength feels more stable. This is not a coincidence, it is spiritual fortification. God has strengthened the foundation of your soul so that nothing on the other side of this door can break what He has built within you. Another layer of protection is the closing of wrong doors. Sometimes God's protection looks like lost disappointment or denial. Not because you were unworthy, but because the door was unsafe. There were paths that would have drained you, relationships that would have hindered you, assignments that would have distracted you. God closed those doors because He saw what you could not see. His no was not rejection, it was redirection. Every closed door was preparation for the right one. You are also protected through divine separation. Some people were removed from your life because their presence could not accompany your rising. Their words, their energy, or their intentions would have interfered with your next season. God saw the conversations you didn't hear. He discerned the motives you couldn't detect. And He shielded you by creating distance even when you didn't understand it at the time. That separation was protection, not punishment. Another form of protection is the peace that keeps settling over you even in uncertainty. You may have noticed moments where you should have been anxious, overwhelmed, or fearful, yet instead a quiet stillness rested on your spirit. That peace is not natural, it is supernatural. It is the assurance of God's presence whispering, "You are safe. You are covered. Move forward." You are also protected through angelic assignment. Whether you feel it or not, whether you see it or not, God has dispatched spiritual covering around you. Doors of destiny attract attention, both heavenly and hostile. But you are surrounded. You are guarded. You are shielded by forces sent specifically to accompany you into new territory. The unseen world moves at God's command, and His command over your life is protection. Another powerful layer of covering comes from the transformation within your mind. The clarity God is giving you, the focus, the wisdom, the inner steadiness is not simply personal growth. It is spiritual armor. Confusion once opened doors to attack. But now your mind is clearer, your boundaries firmer, your intuition sharper. You are harder to deceive, harder to manipulate, harder to discourage. Your mind has become a shield. And perhaps the greatest assurance is this: God Himself is going with you. Not sending you, not pushing you, but walking with you. His presence will be your protection. His voice will be your guide. His strength will be your shield. His wisdom will be your covering. You are not stepping through this door alone. You are stepping through wrapped in divine protection, protected by purpose, surrounded by angels, covered by grace, and guided by the one who opened the door in the first place. And now, with protection established, we move into the next revelation, the transformation waiting for you on the other side of this opening. And with your spirit protected, your path illuminated, and your readiness affirmed, we now step into the vision of what awaits you, the transformation, the fulfillment, the unfolding of a destiny that has been developing in silence for far too long. Because when God opens a door like this, He is not just giving you access to a new environment. He is revealing a new version of you. What lies on the other side of this door is not simply change. It is elevation. It is expansion. It is the manifestation of prayers you whispered, dreams you held on to quietly, and promises that felt distant but never left your heart. When you step through, the first thing you will notice is a shift in your identity. Not externally, but internally, the way you see yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, move, and think. The version of you that survived seasons of uncertainty is giving way to the version of you designed for clarity and purpose. Your confidence will no longer come from what you have, but from who you are. You will feel aligned, anchored, awakened in a way that makes sense of every storm you endured. Another dimension of this transformation is the unlocking of gifts and abilities that were dormant in your life. Gifts that once flickered like small embers will ignite into flame. Passions that once felt out of reach will become central. Strength you didn't know you had will rise to the surface. God has been cultivating these abilities in private so they could be released in the right season, and this door marks the moment of release. You will also experience a shift in your relationships. People aligned with your destiny will begin to appear not through effort, but through divine orchestration. These are individuals who recognize your calling, honor your growth, and support your movement. They will feel like answers, not assignments. Like alignment, not obligation. This is a season where God sends people who help you build, not people you have to carry. On the other side of this door, you will also step into new opportunities that match your maturity. No more forcing, no more begging, no more shrinking yourself to fit environments too small for your calling. What opens now will align with your purpose in a way that feels natural, effortless, and undeniable. The opportunities will not require you to compromise your values or dim your light. Instead, they will require you to stand fully in who you were always meant to be. You will feel a deep sense of peace even in the midst of movement. The anxiety that once accompanied new seasons will fade. The confusion that clouded your decisions will lift. The uncertainty that made you hesitate will loosen its grip. Peace will become your companion because you will finally be walking in alignment, not forcing, not guessing, but following the path God has illuminated before you. Another powerful dimension of fulfillment is the restoration of what was lost. Not always in the same form, but in greater measure. Time, energy, relationships, resources, confidence, purpose, all the things that were drained from you in previous seasons will return in a multiplied way. What once broke you will now bless you. What once limited you will now launch you. Restoration is not just God's kindness, it is His justice. And then comes impact, the fulfillment of why you were chosen, shaped and refined. The influence you carry will expand. The light within you will reach farther. The seeds you planted in tears will become fruit that blesses others. God didn't take you through hardship just for survival. He took you through it so you could stand as a living testimony of resilience, faith, and divine purpose. And perhaps the greatest transformation of all, you will finally feel at home in your destiny. No more feeling misplaced. No more feeling behind. No more feeling like you're waiting for your life to begin. This is the moment where the inner and outer alignment meet, where who you are matches where you are. You are stepping into fulfillment. You are stepping into clarity. You are stepping into purpose. You are stepping into the season that makes sense of every season before it. And now, with your transformation revealed, we move to the final part of this message, the blessing, the affirmation, and the sealing of this prophecy over your life. And now, as this message comes to its close, everything you have heard, everything that has stirred your spirit, everything that has aligned in your heart, it all leads to this moment, a moment of sealing affirmation and blessing. This is where the prophecy becomes personal, where the door becomes undeniable, where your spirit steps into agreement with what heaven has already declared over you. Before you move forward, take a breath. Feel the stillness. Feel the certainty. Feel the presence of God settling around you. The door before you is real. The shift within you is real. The preparation behind you is real. And the future ahead of you is divinely assigned. To anchor this moment in your spirit, speak these affirmations aloud or quietly in your heart. Let them imprint themselves into your identity. Let them reshape the atmosphere around you. Affirmation 1. I am ready for what God has prepared for me. You are not behind. You are not unworthy. You are not unprepared. Everything you endured shaped you into someone capable, strong, discerning, and spiritually aligned. You are ready not by your strength, but by God's timing. Affirmation 2. The door God is opening for me cannot be blocked or taken. This door belongs to you. No one can steal it. No force can close it. No circumstance can delay it. What God has authorized, nothing can override bound. Affirmation 3. I walk forward with courage, clarity, and divine confidence. Fear no longer has authority here. Hesitation no longer controls your steps. The same God who opened the door is walking beside you as you enter it. Affirmation 4. I accept my next season with gratitude and expectation. You do not enter this moment reluctantly. You enter it with honor, with excitement, with faith that what is ahead is greater than what is behind. Let these affirmations settle into your spirit like seeds planted in fertile ground. Speak them not just today, but in the days ahead as reminders of the truth heaven has already spoken over you. And now receive this blessing. May God go before you and make your path straight. May His light illuminate every step you take. May His peace cover your mind. May His strength uphold you. May His angels surround you. May His voice guide you. May His favor open doors that no human hand could create. May His presence walk with you into every new beginning. I declare that every closed door was preparation and every open door is purpose. I declare that your spirit is rising, your vision is sharpening, and your destiny is approaching. I declare that what God has set before you will unfold with clarity, grace, and divine timing. Walk forward with boldness. Walk forward with expectation. Walk forward knowing heaven has already gone ahead of you. The door is open. God is saying, walk in.